Jeff, aka GCurse here. It is Sunday. That means it is the continuation of the mini series, I guess you could say, of a video that Cultaholic released last week. This is the 101 greatest tag teams ever. If you know me, you know I'm a fan of professional wrestling. I am tackling this long video. This video is over 2 hours, so I figure I'm going to do smaller chunks of this video every Sunday. This entry covers numbers 90 through 80. If you want to see the first video in this series, I'll put the link up in the corner and you can watch it there. So let's get to that reaction, shall we? Okay, let's switch over. Okay, let's rewind it back to the beginning. There we go.
Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith.
I remember watching this tag team on Raw back in the mid-90s, and I thought they were the fucking best. You can't get any better of a tag team because you had the technical ability of Owen Hart. Owen Hart, he learned a lot from his family and from his brother Brett. And then you had the power game with the British Bulldog.
Titles from the Smoking Guns are In Your House mind games. Their act was a riot, and they were clearly having a hell of a time tagging with one another.
I used to remember when they would come out when they were announced, and how Owen Hart would kind of run in front of the British Bulldog and holding up his trophies and everything from the Slammies.
Versus the USA storyline.
Oh, I miss the Hart Foundation so much. It's sad that there's only one member left of that team that's alive.
Power and charisma, these two well-traveled vets could have accomplished so much more as a team, but
Totally
what
agree.
we got wasn't half bad. Number 89, the Soul Patrol. While Rocky Johnson may be best known as the
isn't this Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas?
Dressing like Fred Flintstone, back in the 1980s, the two men teamed up to make WWE history. Truth be told, the most electrifying dad in sports entertainment was something of a tag team specialist and had an impressive career before even making it to the company, and the freakishly strong Mr. USA was a decorated wrestler who enjoyed success in various territories.
I don't know much about Rocky Johnson, but I know a little bit about Tony Atlas, mainly because he has been on TV a little bit longer than Rocky Johnson that I'm aware of. I think it was, I can't recall who it was, but wasn't Tony Atlas a part-time manager for a wrestler back in the mid-2010s, if I remember correctly? I can't recall who it was. Oh, wasn't it Primetime? Not Primetime. I can't recall his name. He's part of the Primetime Players, though. No, is it Primetime Players? Oh, I think it was Primetime Players. The guy who slid and fell and slid underneath the ring at the Greatest World Rumble.
But together as the Soul Patrol, they broke ground when they became the first African.
Okay, now I'm gonna be fucking wondering about it. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Hold on. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Okay. Do this. And this. There we go. Tony Atlas. I think it was Primetime Players, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. Life WWE appearances. Could this be it? Let's see here. WWE Unforgiven. Emmy Awards. Appearance. Legends House. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was a part-time manager. Oh, maybe it was when he was with Mark Henry. It was when he was with Mark Henry. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was when he was with Mark Henry. Okay, I was wrong. I thought he was with a tag team. Okay, well. Still, he's an awesome performer all around, though. I remember seeing a lot of Tony Atlas on the Dark Side of the Ring little documentaries.
American team to win the WWE Tag Team titles, which they accomplished by beating the Wild Samoans in a match that aired on December 9th, 1983. They defended their titles against Afa and Sika in rematches on the road for the next 4 months before falling to the North-South connection of Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch. They only wrestled about a dozen matches together afterwards before continuing to pursue their solo careers, having already left their mark on sports entertainment as a team. For historical reasons alone, these trailblazers make the cut. Number 88, DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels.
Okay, now the question is this 1990s DX? Or is this like the early or mid 2000s DX? Because if this was the 90s DX, I'll be honest, I like them. However, if they're referring to the mid 2000s DX, no thanks.
Michaels. D-Generation X might be better remembered by some as a fully fledged faction, their sophomoric antics perhaps lingering in the memory longer than their actual matches. But the 2006 reboot of DX original with Shawn Michaels and Triple H bore a lot more fruit.
Oh god, I fucking hated that run of DX. To me, I'll be honest, it felt more like oh god, I don't want to say a reunion tour, but it just felt like it was like two dads who are trying to be funny, and it just got so fucking annoying. It lacked everything that the 1990s DX had, in my opinion.
Were back to their best in 2009 while taking on The Legacy and then Jericho. At TLC 2009, DX won their first and only pair of tag team titles when they beat Jericho in a plunder-filled gem. Their subsequent reign wasn't an all-timer or anything, but
it was just like watching two old guys trying to relive their glory days. That's what it felt like when I watched this incarnation of the DX. Ooh, too cool.
Helping to make up the numbers in the tag team battle.
Okay, now is this too cool with Rikishi, or is it just too cool without Rikishi? Because if it's with Rikishi, then I agree that they were pretty cool. But without Rikishi, it was a lot more difficult for the tag team, in my opinion.
Royal at WrestleMania 14, I would wager that not many predicted big things for the thrown-together tandem of Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor. Initially called Too Much, Taylor and Christopher predominantly plied their trade on weekend.
I remember when, oh god, Jim Ross would constantly torment Jerry Lawler about his son, that Brian Christopher being his son.
Something that they did well. Their fortunes changed in October of 1999 after they received a makeover as well as new names. Now going by Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty Too Hot are picking up some wins as part of their push. Adding Rikishi Fatu
there you go.
With a well-received post-match
Rikishi really added a lot to that group.
Rocket, and they soon found themselves as one of the most over acts in the business. In the ring, they typically kept things within the basic WWE TV formula for tag matches, but they didn't exactly have to do anything too complex to get a big reaction, especially when Scotty had the worm in his back pocket. A 1-month reign as WWE Tag Champs came at the peak of their popularity, after which their push stalled and they fell well down the pecking order. Their WWE run ended with Christopher's release in 2001, though they did later do the indies and made a couple of nostalgia appearances on Raw and for NXT. Number 86, The Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh my god. How much could have been accomplished if they just let this team continue to run wild? Oh my god. I miss you, Brody. I miss you, Brody.
Remembered for what they did as a stable, Harper and Rowan as a team accomplished much to
I know his name is Luke Harper in the WWE, but I call him Brody.
Tag team champions. As members of the Wyatt family, Harper and Rowan had good matches with the Usos, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and more, while also wrestling plenty of 6- and 8-man tags. Their sheer size and focus on power moves made them instantly come across like a force to be reckoned with.
I look at the Bludgeon Brothers and I think of like people like Bruiser Brody, and then there was a wrestler named the Berserker. Yeah, that was a little bit more of a comic character, but like Bruiser Brody, he just knew how to fight. He knew how to fight, or like Stan Hansen. Oh my god.
Then after some stop-start pushes due to injuries and whatnot, they were given a makeover and renewed push as the Bludgeon Brothers. More good matches with the New Day and a very good tornado tag against Bryan and Roman Reigns suggested that they would be given further opportunities on the card, but it just never happened.
They were robbed. They never were able to reach their top level.
Soon after, they will always have WrestleMania 34. Number 85, the American Wolves. One of the best pure wrestling tag.
Okay, I don't know anything about the American Wolves, so I can't really give any real thoughts about this tag team.
By working their little wolfy butts off bell to bell. They had a similar style, heavily inspired by Japanese wrestling, with Edwards the more calculating and cerebral member, and Richards the more intense and explosive. They first gained notice in Ring of Honor at a time when the promotion had no shortage of great tag teams for them to work with. They won the ROH tag titles twice, though their second spell with the belts was brief. Post Ring of Honor, the Wolves turned up in TNA and ended up winning the promotion's tag titles a joint record 5 times, having some tremendous matches along the way, such as their series with Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. Davey and Eddie have had commendable singles careers too, and have also feuded against one another on a couple of occasions. As a tag team, however, they really did look and act the part, and stood out as two men who clearly took their craft seriously and strived to be the absolute best that they could be. Number 84, the Koloffs. Of all the fake Russians,
okay, if I remember correctly, wasn't the Koloffs like an early WCW tag team? I heard of them, but I can't really say I really seen that much of their body of work, I guess you could say.
Nodal. Known as the Russians, the uncle and nephew team, aided by American turncoat Crusher Khrushchev, ran roughshod in the Crockett territory and soon won back the straps by beating Dusty Rhodes and Manny Fernandez. Ivan was obviously the more experienced and held things together, while Nikita was...
If I remember correctly, I think the only real knowledge I have of Nikita Koloff was when he was in War Games. He was with Sting. I think it was with Sting and somebody else, but it was a War Games match, and everybody was wondering if Nikita could be trusted.
Paul. The Russians had a great feud with the Rock and Roll Express, the little versus large combination working wonders. And you know what also worked? Their knockdown, drag-out series of brawls with the Road Warriors. An unlikely babyface turn by Nikita meant that the Koloffs were a short-lived team, but they managed to have quite the run in the few years they were together. Number 83, La Pareja Atomica. In 1945,
Never even heard of this
two
team.
members of Lucha Libre royalty combined their powers to create an unstoppable force. La Pareja Atomica, translation the atomic pair, was the melding of the brawling El Santo.
Like Gory Guerrero, he must be like one of Eddie's, I think like his uncle.
Supposedly never lost a match, though there is evidence to dispute this, and engaged in a series of wild and woolly matches with the teams of Cavanerio Galindo and Black Shadow. Santo was obviously the star of the team and became a cultural icon in his native Mexico, but Gory was the one who held things together.
If I remember correctly, wasn't he? They have a move named after him, like the Gory Bomb or something like that.
Act, with Santo adopting Guerrero's invention, the camel clutch, as his own finisher. Sadly, very little footage of their matches as a team has survived to see the light of day, but their impact on the sport and box office business is undeniable. In fact, the team was so well regarded that their sons Eddie Guerrero and El Hijo del Santo rebooted it to great acclaim during the 90s. Number 82, Sergeant Slaughter and Don Canodal. Although more often than not, members of a tag team are viewed as being on equal footing, there are cases when an established main eventer gets together.
I'm aware of Sergeant Slaughter. I like Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know the other person though.
Put Sergeant Slaughter with Don Canodal, who Sarge had taken under his wing as one of his privates. Sergeant Slaughter's privates, lol. In the storyline, Slaughter's training helped toughen Canodal up, and the two men started racking up victories, leading to a major NWA Tag Title Tournament final victory over Giant Baba and Antonio Inoki. The tournament was entirely made up, naturally, but Slaughter and Canodal were champs, and the dastardly pair of military men began to target Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, leading to a phenomenal series of bouts that did big business for JCP. Their feud peaked in the gripping Final Conflict steel cage match, where Steamboat and Youngblood took the gold. The rematches, many of which took place in a cage, headlined around the Carolinas for the remainder of the year before Slaughter and Canodal lost a match that forced their breakup and saw Sarge leave for WWE. Number 81, Bad Influence. Bad Influence, also known as Addiction, provided something of a career renaissance for hard-working TNA veterans.
Wait, isn't that SCU? I think that's how the name of the group, SCU.
And his team with AJ Styles, while Kaz had a rather forgettable run alongside Michael Shane. Kaz really started to come into his own while teaming with the more experienced Daniels, who may have been slowing down but clearly still knew how to hold a match together. Not only were they able to have good matches with everybody in TNA and then Ring of Honor bounce with the Motor City Machine Guns, Young Bucks and AJ Styles and Kurt Angle are well worth tracking down, but they also began to show oodles of personality both in the ring and during promos. Daniels and Kazarian had 2 runs with both the TNA and Ring of Honor tag team titles, their time with the ROH straps lasting more than twice as long as their time with TNA's, as they laid their claim to being one of the top teams of the 2010s. An AEW run as part of SoCal Uncensored.
Oh, okay, SoCal Uncensored. Okay, that was AEW. Okay, my bad.
Several years prior. Number 80, the Street Profits.
Oh my God, Street Profits. Oh, I'm gonna say something I know it's gonna piss off a lot of people, and if it does, too fucking bad. I've never been a fan of the Street Profits. I look at the Street Profits and I cannot help but think of Crime Time 2.0. That's literally all I see when I see these guys. I just see Crime Time 2.0. Everything from the stupid gimmicky mantras of "we got the smoke," you know, to the way they act and everything. They just remind me of Crime Time 2.0. So I tried to get behind this tag team ever since they were in NXT, and I just could not do it. I just could not do it. I don't know what it is. They just they do not click with me, which is sad because I love wrestling. I love tag team wrestlers, but this team, I just cannot get behind them.
Street Profits, that's Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, are only the 3rd team in WWE history to win the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT tag titles, achieving the feat within 499 days. The black and gold came first, with the Profits snatching the vacant straps in a 4-way tag team ladder match at TakeOver 25. Not long after losing them, they were formally drafted to the main roster, which seemed like an inevitability considering how good they had gotten while plying their trade for the developmental league. 2020 may have been a pretty rotten year all round, but it was a breakout one for Ford and Dawkins, who won the Raw tag titles and then began defending the SmackDown ones after trading with the New Day following their switch to the...
I like the New Day more now that they're fucking heels. I like New Day as heels. When New Day were faces, oh my God, they were just so fucking corny. I could not get... I'm not sure what it is. It's just some tag teams, they have to just have that right combination for me to get behind them. And it's like Street Profits fucking I hate the tag team. I just do not like that tag team. Oh God, New Day, they were tolerable once they became heels. If they're faces, get that fucking shit out of here, yeah. Maybe it's because I'm older and I'm cynical, but this whole idea of the power of positivity, that bullshit, oh my God.
The blue brand. The Street Profits got over because they were athletic, looked and acted like a proper team, and had bags of personality to go with their obvious skills in the ring. There's a sense that they've been drifting in recent times and could use a freshen up, while some peg Tez as a major future singles player. Regardless of what does happen in the next few years, they've done pretty well to distinguish themselves as one of WWE's better and more popular...
Okay, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed this video. So this was number 80 or 90 to 80, and we've seen a lot of tag teams in this entry or this video. A lot of them be honest, I don't recall. I never saw like the Koloffs. Some tag teams I just don't like the Street Profits. Some tag teams I fucking miss, like the Bludgeon Brothers and Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith. But yeah, so those are what kind of was in this group. I'm actually kind of shocked that Owen Hart, Davey Boy got 90th. Like, really? Well, fine. This is their list. But to me, I would think that they would at least been below 49, or 50, like high 40s possibly. But 90? Holy shit. But that's their choice, But that's it. I'll see you next week, everybody. Peace.